A Triad driver hits a little girl crossing the street to get on her school bus and keeps going. Now we're hearing from her parents as police look for that driver. Erica Miller is live in Winston-Salem with that story. Erica.
Wanda, 7-year-old Kelly Smith, who's a second grader here at Gibson Elementary School, is recovering tonight at home. She's got a lot of bumps and bruises and scrapes, but she will be okay. She's also very sore, her father tells us, but he also knows she is very lucky.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I've been thinking about that, but I believe we're blessed.
Cuts and bruises tell the story of what happened Monday morning while Kelly Smith, a second grader, was trying to get on the bus to go to school. Less than a half mile from her home, she was crossing North Cherry Street when police tell us a car went around the other stopped cars and hit her with their side mirror.
Side view mirror on the passenger side. It caught my daughter across the face and hit her leg, and she was really in pain.
Kerry Smith spent the morning with his daughter in the hospital, thinking about the person who hit her and then took off.
To me, they just have no consideration for the laws, and whatever their intentions was for their own plans was more important than the lives of those kids getting on the bus.
Well, he wants whoever did this held responsible. He also wants the school district to make some changes.
Just that short distance to that bus stop is very dangerous on this road. And our kids used to get picked up right here in front of the house, but for some reason they changed it. So I was very concerned about that. So I have made 4 different attempts to get it changed back to here.
And he has some other questions for the district too. He says the bus driver saw the hit and run and let Kelly board the bus, continued on the route, and then dropped her off at school.
My daughter was sent to the office by her teacher, who seen her bleeding and asked her what had happened.
Now, we talked to police about that, and they said that should never have happened. Police should have been called right away and come to the accident scene. They do say they will be talking to district officials about what happened. Now, we reached out to the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School District. So far, we have not heard back. As for the driver who hit Kelly, police say they are looking for a green Honda made between 1999 and 2002. If you can help them at all, they're asking you to please give them a call. Wanda, will send it back to you.
All right, our Erica Miller is live there now. Erica, what can you tell us?
Wanda, yes, some good news tonight. Within the last 10 or so minutes, the northbound lanes of I-85 reopened, traffic now flowing freely. And on the southbound side, lanes opened a little earlier this afternoon. And some more good news tonight. The evacuation order that was in place for within a half mile of this location has now been lifted as well.
Sometime around 8 o'clock, the Sheriff's Department came in and said there had been an accident with some hazardous material and that he would have to evacuate everybody from the premises.
So John Fry and the rest of the crew at the Days Inn in Archdale got to work, going room to room, telling each guest it was time to leave.
Most people thought it was a joke, but we had to convince several of them that it wasn't.
About a half mile away, this was the scene. Around 7 a.m., an Orica tanker truck carrying the materials that make up explosives went off the road and crashed.
What this truck is used for, they bring out a slurry, they mix it, they pump it in a hole, they put a cap and a detonator to it, and it does an underground explosion for like clearing rock or footers or bedrock. So the quantity with the amount of stuff that was on the truck could have devastated a very pretty good sized area in that right there.
Nearly 200 emergency responders from more than a half dozen agencies closed off roads within a half mile of the scene and evacuated homes, businesses, and 1 elementary school. That meant traffic nightmares in and around Archdale as cars and trucks were diverted off I-85 and onto the side roads.
You may want to take Business 85 and then take Main Street here.
Despite the disruption for a lot of people, emergency crews say luck really was on their side.
We prepared for worst case scenario and hoping for best. Right now, it looks like we got best case scenario.
Now, no chemicals leaked from the truck, but some diesel fuel did, and that's part of the reason it took so long to open the northbound lanes here is because crews were working to clean up that diesel fuel along the side of the road and also remove that tanker truck. Now, the driver is listed in stable condition at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center tonight. As for the cause of this accident, that is still under investigation. I'm Erica Miller, WXII 12 News.
Thanks, Erica. 3 years after he was killed in the line of duty, a family of Sergeant Mickey Hutchins says a nonprofit group is trying to benefit from his death.
That group is called the Police Protective Fund, but as our Erica Miller explains in this WXII 12 News investigation, that group has a lot of people very angry.
It started with a simple phone call that Jill Mullins just happened to pick up.
I answered the phone and they said, "We are calling on behalf of the Police Protective Fund and we're calling to raise money for the families of fallen officers, and we were wondering if you would like to contribute." And I said, "Really? I'm actually the daughter of a fallen officer and I've never heard of you." And they hung up.
As the daughter of Sergeant Mickey Hutchins, a Winston-Salem police officer who was killed back in 2009, that call caught Jill's attention, so she and her mother Beth started to dig. They found dozens of comments on charity ratings websites. "He hung up on me, slammed the phone in my ear, started insulting her because I didn't donate." That's when the Hutchins family called us and we started digging. What we found is that the PPF has had problems in at least 3 other states: California in 2010, Missouri in 2008, and Maryland in 2006. The California Justice Department alleged the PPF engaged in deceptive practices that resulted in a $60,000 settlement in which the PPF denied any wrongdoing and agreed to stop working in the state of California. In 2008, the PPF agreed to pay the state of Missouri $450,000 to settle telemarketing harassment charges, and they were banned from Missouri for 2 years.
We are concerned enough to be looking into it because of the consumer complaints that we have received.
And now North Carolina Attorney General Roy Cooper is also investigating.
We have some complaints from consumers that say that they told them that the money went to charity. If that is the case, then they have misrepresented the company, because they are supposed to give you the exact breakdown of how much of their money goes to the charitable purpose and how much goes for salary, administrative costs, and telemarketing commissions.
Tax records show the PPF raised about $6 million last year. $3.4 million went to salaries, benefits, and other compensation. That's 57%. $2.5 million went to fundraising expenses. That's 42%. That means 99% of the money taken in went to salaries, benefits, and fundraising expenses. While that doesn't sit well with him, Roy Cooper says it's not necessarily illegal as long as organizations aren't misleading their donors.
Between prayers, money, doing things for us, they've all pitched in and been very, very good to us.
But after getting a lot of generous community donations over the years, the Hutchins family says, legal or not, what the PPF is doing is wrong. I'm Erica Miller, WXII 12 News.
Now, we asked the PPF about why that caller hung up on the Hutchins family. In an email response, Director and COO David Dirk said, quote, "This organization has a zero-tolerance policy for unprofessional behavior from the call staff. Employees are trained and instructed in the approved public awareness script and program Q&A. He went on to say, failure to follow the approved script will result in termination of employment." Now, with the holidays approaching,